In downtown Fayetteville, thousands of angry protesters came together to protest the No Kings protest. Their message: we have no kings in the USA. But according to the Bible, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, Israel, we know that we have one king.
Who is your king? Who is your king? Who is your king?
So Shalom, my name is Albad. I'm here with All Things Israel, and I'm here with
Pam Carver and
Curtis Carver.
Okay, nice to meet you. So what's your guys' stance? I see we're out here at this march, and so what no kings, what does that mean to you?
that means that our country for the last 5 months has been moving toward an authoritarian government where we would have a king that rules. We said no in 1776 and we say no in 2025.
So when you mean no kings, are you meaning specifically no one that reigns for a long period of time?
Correct. Our leaders are elected by the people, and we have a constitution that we are all supposed to follow. And currently, this administration is not following the Constitution. They're ignoring orders from the Supreme Court. They're disappearing people off the street. They've got the military on the street against the Posse Comitatus Act. And it's up to the people, the citizens, we the people, to protect our country just like our founding fathers found it.
So when you say we the people, wouldn't it be safe to say that we the people elected this administration?
Not all we the people, not all people got out and vote. I think there was a lot of voter fatigue. They were tired of the way things were. They were hoping for something better. They believed the lies. He has not kept his campaign promises. He hasn't done anything to bring prices down. In fact, they've gone up with the tariffs. He's pulled out of helping Ukraine. We've got more wars instead of less wars. Plus he has declared war on the citizens of the United States. And even we want all criminals, whether they're American or undocumented or documented, criminals should be tried, given due process, and then if they're sentenced, they serve their time. But he's denying Americans and visa holders their due process.
So are you a Trump supporter that went left, or have you never supported Trump?
I am a never Trumper. Never.
So if you don't mind me asking, who did you vote for?
Oh, I voted for Kamala. Last time I voted for Joe. I voted for Obama.
So does it really matter who you vote for?
Yes. I vote for the person who most aligns with my beliefs. I don't change my moral compass to go to the person, say like Marco Rubio. He told us in 2016 Trump was America's Hitler and that he was horrible and all this stuff. But now he's changed his moral compass because he wants to be Secretary of State, and so he's changed his values. And in fact, I think he's gone way bad by trying to revoke student visas and keep people out of our country.
So you're not for the mass deportation of immigrants?
No.
So how do you feel about that?
Our country was built by immigrants. Our country will suffer if he were, and finally, it might have been his corporate buddies that got in touch with him, but they finally got the message to them. The people, you're deporting the people who harvest the crops. You're deporting the people who work in the hotels. You're deporting the people who work in restaurants. In fact, if you think about it, during COVID, we had essential workers. He's deporting all the essential workers. And he's ignoring their status. They were given refuge here either as for an asylum seeker. Biden extended to other countries around the world that were imperiled to come here. Even, but he is ignoring all those documentations.
So what do you say to people who say, well, Donald Trump promised to make America great again? What if this is him making America great again?
This is not him making it great again, because if it was, there would not be over 2,165 protests today all across America. And then I'm guessing it's Americans and other people around the world are also protesting him on his birthday. And they put an unelected person, not Senate approved, into office to gut our agencies, to cut the funding, to fire our employees, that make services less available to the Americans, and throw a $45 million birthday parade and deploy troops to California at $134 million. Yet we can't have SNAP, we can't have Medicaid, and other programs that people depend on to live.
So what is your ultimate goal? What is it that you wish to accomplish? If everything went good and you could have exactly what you want, what is it that you want to come out of this?
What I would like to see come out of this is, I would hope that our senators will, even the Republicans in the House and the Senate, to reclaim their power, because they are enabling him to do this. They could stop his tariffs. They could stop this stuff with the putting the troops on the ground. They need to do their job and hold him to the Constitution. Then we will let the democratic process work out. But when they said they were going to flood the zone, we never realized that it was going to be one executive order after the other, no matter how illegal they were. And so there's been court case after court case. Everything's tied up in the court, and the court process, as he knows, because he got away with 34 felonies, you can delay, appeal until the time runs out. So hopefully this will waken up our legislators to do their jobs, and it will bring attention to the other American people who aren't out here, that they need to do their job and vote this out.
So would you say that what America has done is a good thing?
Pardon?
Would you say what America has done is a good thing?
I think today is a good day for America. And I think it lets all of our past allies, I don't know if they're our allies anymore because they don't share information with us, because of his hateful ways, trying to call Canada the 51st state and trying to buy all these other countries when he votes with Russia and Korea and Belarus over our allies. It lets them know that the people of America do not agree with the administration.
So would you is it safe to say that the chaos and what's happening in America today is a product of America reaping what they sowed?
I think it's a product of we're reaping what Trump sowed.
So you don't think it's a product of America in the whole?
Well, there's about 35 to 40% that fall in line with him. The minority, we are currently being ruled by the minority. And I can get into that because we need to do fair maps in North Carolina because of gerrymandering. The legislators pick their voters instead of the voters picking their legislators. When the courts did the maps, North Carolina had 7 Democratic districts and 7 Republican. They got a majority Republican Supreme Court that came back, overruled it, and said it's okay to gerrymander. So now we have 10 Republican districts and only 4 Democratic.
So what do you think America can do to repair the relationship between the Hispanic community, the Black community, and the Native American community? What can America do as a whole that you feel can repair that broken bond?
Well, I think we have to stand up for each other. I think we have to not judge people by the color of their skin. That's what's going on now. If we were walking down the street, they wouldn't bother us, but they might grab you. We have to stand up for each other and make sure that our laws are followed, that everyone gets due process.
What about giving the land back to North American Indians? You don't think that would solve everything?
No, unfortunately, that history I think is past. I don't know. I don't know exactly how that could be reparations or whatever.
Or what about a small plot? Maybe they just carve out, Texas and say this is for the North American Indians or the people that built America.
Well, sadly, we have the Trail of Tears from North Carolina to Oklahoma where they were put on reservations. So there are different Indian reservations, but I think that there are things that we can rectify from the past, like black farmers that had their farms taken from them. I think they're in some states they are making reparations for that. I know. I'm trying to think what college it is in Washington, D.C. that part of their funding at the beginning came from selling slaves, and so they have made reparations to those families. So there's different stories across America where changes are being made.
Okay. So I have one more question. I'm gonna let you go. Say if you and your husband were sitting at Cracker Barrel and you were there with your parents or your grandparents, and your grandparents or your parents got up and skipped out on the bill. Do you feel like you should cover the bill for your grandparents?
I would.
Why?
Because they're my family and they're with us.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
The future belongs to Israel. That's right.